This was interesting because the packaging actually came where one of these, and I'd never seen that before. Hey, what's going on guys? John here, and today I wanted to do a review for the Darkecho gaming chair. So I first wanted to go through the packaging of this chair. I'll talk a little bit about the assembly, and then I'll give you my overall thoughts on the chair itself. So this actually came boxed up in a box that's a little bit smaller than what I typically would see when I receive office chairs. It was something I was actually able to bring into the house myself, so that was really positive with this. In terms of assembly, it was pretty straightforward. It came with separate pieces, so the back piece is one piece. You have the base where the chair is another piece, and then each of your armrest pieces on the sides were separate. And you have these plastic pieces that attach to the metal brackets that basically hold the base and the back part together. The base of it was fairly standard, as what I've done with many other office chairs. You basically just put the casters in and you're good to go. Once you do that, the nice thing about this for assembly was that all of the bolts were already in place for everywhere that you were basically going to be needing them. They did include a small hex screw that you can use, which is going to be pretty standard for, you know, putting together most things. And then it came with two additional extra screws just in case you need them. A couple screws here that you needed to use for attaching the plastic pieces here on the sides, and pretty much that was it. Now, in terms of the chair itself, I'm going to go through some of the features. So this actually comes with a smaller pillow here that's at the top. This is nice because you do have these black areas here that are kind of open with plastic. So it has some nice aesthetic, and then this basically goes right through. I have some other chairs where, you know, I'll use an example here of this other chair that we have where this actually just kind of goes around the back, and it's not really as sturdy because there's nothing really for it to go through, and it makes, you know, not really for as a good setup. So that's one nice thing I liked about this pillow and the way they do this. And then you've also got this lumbar pillow here at the bottom. The straps also utilize these same holes, come back around, and they basically can be unclipped through the back. So you're able to use this as some extra lumbar support, which is really going to help, you know, if you're someone that maybe suffers from low back issues. And of course, if you want to remove it, you can always just undo those straps and take it away. Now, this also does have a USB function with a button here. I have not tested this, but I believe this is most likely just a massage function that you get with this back pillow. It's probably not going to be anything crazy. There's not going to be like moving massage pieces, but basically like a low massage that you could just enable or disable. In terms of the armrests on these, you have a fairly standard sort of thin, almost circular sort of armrest here. This is probably not like my favorite of the styles. I generally prefer something that's more flat, like what you see here. But for what it is, I would say these work just fine. They do have a lot of adjustability. You can actually move them up or down. And then you also do have a clicking option where you can kind of click them in or out. And comparing this to a couple other chairs that I've used, such as this one over here, all you can do is raise or lower these. So it is nice that they include that option where you can kind of twist these. And I'd say overall, they don't feel too bulky. Some people may not actually prefer having something like this because it is going to take up a little bit more room, and you're going to, you know, get a little bit extra room here on the sides. You do have some nice bolsters here on the base. This also has like a really cool like stitching where it kind of has a V in the center, and then you've got this diamond pattern, which obviously is a higher material. I would say of the chairs that I own, this is definitely one that is going to be much firmer than maybe some others, like other ergonomic chairs. So if you're someone that's not really a fan of like a firmer seat, then just really bear that in mind with this particular chair, as it is going to be firmer. Another cool thing that this comes with that most other office chairs I see, especially gaming chairs, do not, is this extra extension for a leg rest. So this actually bolts on as a separate piece. It comes out, and then you can, you know, lay your feet up on this and kind of recline. If you set the back piece to recline, you could use this as a full recliner. So all the other office chairs that I own do not have this functionality, so I thought it's kind of cool that they implemented it. And if you don't want to use it, you basically just flip this back in, and then you push this under, and now it's really not, you know, utilizing any extra space. In terms of the casters, fairly basic. You just have your black wheels here at the base, and then there's like some nice design here on each edge. This was interesting because the packaging actually came where one of these you know, pieces that came out actually had to be assembled, and I'd never seen that before, but it allowed them to save on packaging when they delivered the box, and I think that's one of the reasons that it was so light. This moves fairly well in terms of like gliding across the floor. I'd say it's fairly standard. I have this other ergonomic chair here that this thing glides like almost way too much, so it's to a point where you feel like you're just slipping and sliding all over the floor, and that's something that doesn't happen with this. In terms of adjustments, you have your basic free and lock that you can move this in or out if you want to free up the actual back piece, and then you have your up or down. So not really a whole lot there. You do also have your adjustment if you want to adjust the base of the seat here. You have this spin piece that you can rotate. Pretty much that's it. There's really not too much else for the chair. I'd say overall, for the price point, this is going to be a fairly nice chair. I think I've used others that were cheaper, and I've used many others that were you know, quite a bit more expensive. And overall, I think for what this is, you know, it is stylish. I like that it comes with the leg rest, and that it has some pretty good lumbar support with this extra little massage feature built in. So if you are looking for a nice gaming chair, I'd say you can't really go wrong with the Darkecho, but just bear in mind that it is going to be something that's a little bit firmer for the base on the seat, but you do have a lot of room here if you're going to be sitting down with these armrests and all the other features that this comes with. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll talk to you later.